So I was flipping through the newest Pathfinder book, Lost Omens, Shining Kingdom, and saw another flavorful archetype that really piqued my interest. It's not magical, it's not even all that versatile, honestly, but it's full of flavor, identity, and grit. I'm talking about the Ulfen Guard. This is one of those archetypes that is rooted in culture and loyalty. Think shields, bitter cold, and a staunch ally for those they have sworn an oath to, whether kin or lord. If the theme of Vikings come to mind, you're on the right track. And with the right build, you can bring that exact vibe to life, without sacrificing combat effectiveness or fun at the table. So today's build takes the Ulfen Guard dedication, wraps it in pelts, frost, and unshakable duty. We're not rolling randomly this time, we're choosing each piece intentionally to show you what a thematic, team-oriented frontliner can look like when built around both archetype and atmosphere. And as always, with our archetype feature builds, we will be using the free archetype variant rules. Let's get into it. So what exactly is an Ulfen Guard? Well, lore-wise, they're the personal protectors of the Proman crown, drawn from the hardy Ulfen people. Mechanically, it's an archetype built for defense, protection, and battlefield presence. You're not just standing on the front lines, you are the front line. There are some prerequisites needed before we can partake in this archetype. We would normally need to be a member of the Ulfen Guard, trained in athletics and intimidation, and one of our parents must be Ulfen. As always, talk with your GM to see which of the access requirements they need you to meet for their game. We're starting things off with being a human from the far north. Not just any human either, a winter-touched human. This heritage gives us cold resistance equal to half our level, and we get to treat environmental effects as if they are one step less extreme. It's perfect for the environment our character calls home, and it plays right into the survivalist, hardened outdoorsman image. Our background is Winter's Child, again, locked into that frozen narrative as the blood of Baba Yaga runs in our veins. Baba Yaga did conquer Ulfen after all. It gives us an attribute boost to either Constitution or Charisma, and a free boost, alongside training in Arcana and Weather lore. We also get the Arcane Sense skill feat. For our class, we're going Ranger. It might not be your first thought for a shield-based protector, but hear me out. Rangers bring a lot of survival-based flavor here, including their Hunter's Edge. We are selecting Precision, which gives us 1d8 additional precision damage when we hurt our hunted prey the first time each round. And one of the core aspects of the Ulfen Guard dedication is wrapped around designating an ally. Well, what better an ally than a ranger's animal companion, in our case, a young bear. For our weapon of choice, it's the battle axe. It's classic, it's heavy, it screams Northern Warrior. And it pairs beautifully with our Viking shield bearer ancestry feat, which gives us shield block and lets us pick a martial weapon, enter the axe. For our level 1 class feat, we're going to grab Animal Companion to bring our bear online. And then for skills, we're trained in a spread that reflects practical survival and cold weather life. Athletics, stealth, nature, survival, and a few extras like Arcana, Intimidation, and Acrobatics for utility and flavor. At level 2, we dive straight into our archetype, the Ulfen Guard dedication. It requires shield block and medium armor proficiency. Check and check. We get warfare lore, which fits nicely, and crucially, we unlock the first of many ways to protect our allies more directly with Designate Ally, which allows us to select an ally, and for the next minute, when our ally is adjacent to us, they gain a +2 circumstance bonus to AC and reflex saves. Our class feat here is United Assault, a favorite from our Black Jacket build, and it works beautifully here too. We get bonus damage when striking a target already hit by an ally this turn. This reinforces our image as part of the pack, fighting side by side with our bear and our party. For our skill feat, we take Train Animal. This helps us start building out additional command actions for our companion, making sure our bear stays as much a part of the team as we are. For level 3, we grab Toughness as our general feat, simple, reliable, and thematic. We're a frontliner built to endure. More HP never hurts, especially when we're drawing heat away from our allies. At level 4, we take Companion's Cry for our class feat. This lets us use 2 actions to command our animal companion instead of 1, and when we do so, our animal gets to use an additional action. Basically, we give our bear one of our actions. Our Ulfen Guard archetype feat is Defender's Grit. We gain the Die Hard general feat, can't protect anyone if we're dead after all. And if we start our turn next to our designated ally, we gain temporary hit points equal to half our level. And for our skill feat, All of the animal fits nicely with our survivalist theme, letting us receive food for ourselves and others when using survival to subsist. It's more of a flavor choice than anything, but it could be useful depending on the campaign setting or type of adventure you're playing in. Ability boosts at level 5 go into Strength, Wisdom, Constitution, and Charisma. We're a warrior of heart, muscle, and instinct. For our ancestry feat, we take General Training to pick up Fleet. Extra movement speed helps keep us mobile, helps us reposition to intercept threats, and complements our bear's natural movement advantage. Our bear grows up at level 6. Our class feat is Mature Animal Companion. This gives our bear more capabilities and higher damage output, turning it into a true battlefield presence. For our Ulfen Guard feat, we take Reactive Strike. This gives us our first battlefield control tool. If an enemy moves or provokes near us, we get to interrupt with a hit. And our skill feat is Natural Medicine, letting us tap into the Ranger's Herbalist vibe and keep our allies stable out in the wild. We take Numb to Death as our 7th level general feat, perfectly thematic for a hardened Ulfen warrior. When we regain hit points for the first time each day, we get a circumstance bonus to the number of hit points regained equal to our level, and we don't gain or increase the value of the wounded condition. As mentioned earlier, we cannot protect anyone if we're dead, so we better become numb to it. At level 8, we double down on our theme. Our class feat is the Viking dedication. More axes, more shields, more frost-coated fury. For our Ulfen Guard feat, we pick Shield Warden. This lets us block with our shield, not just for ourselves, but for adjacent allies. This is the heart of the Ulfen Guard. You don't stand behind this warrior, you stand because of them. And our skill feat here is Influence Nature, helping us communicate and deal with animals and natural hazards in a more narrative exploration focused way. We grab Clever Improviser for our 9th level ancestry feat. It fits that old warrior energy, always finding a way to make something work even without the right tools or training. We gain the Untrained Improvisation feat. This adds flexibility and utility both in and out of combat. 10th level is a big one. Incredible Companion upgrades our bear to Savage. That's more HP, more damage, more tankiness. It also gains the action Bear Hug, which, if the bear successfully hits a creature with its previous action, it can make another strike, and if that one hits, the target becomes grabbed. It has become a force in its own right. We grab Protective Strike as our Ulfen Guard feat, a key defensive tool that lets us strike and potentially interrupt creature attacks or movements against our ally. Combined this with our Shield Warden earlier, we're basically forming a mobile wall. Intimidating Prowess is our skill feat, adding a circumstance bonus from our strength to our demoralized checks, because when this character walks onto the field, you're gonna feel it. And for our second round of attribute boosts, we go with Strength, Wisdom, Charisma, and a little more Constitution. This rounds out the character's core identity as a protector and a warrior. We snag our last general feat for this build at level 11 with Robust Health. This gives us a circumstance bonus equal to our level when our wounds have been treated by either Treat Wounds or Battle Medicine. We also reduce our immunity to that person's battle medicine from 1 day to 1 hour, tripling down on our we can't protect if we're dead mentality. For our class feat here at level 12, we take Side by Side. When we and our bear are adjacent to the same foe, we are both considered to be flanking that foe regardless of our actual positions. For our free Archetype feat here, we're going to go with our Viking dedication and grab Quick Shield Block. With Reactive Strike and Shield Warden from Ulfen Guard already in the mix, this gives us the ability to raise our defense at a moment's notice. And for our final skill feat, we pick Consult the Spirits, a beautiful nod to the spiritual side of the Ulfen, calling on the old voices of wind and wood for wisdom and guidance. And that wraps up this entry in the Codex. This build shows that with the right archetype and a strong sense of theme, you can create a character who doesn't need spells or swordsmanship to stand out. The Ulfen Guard Ranger thrives on positioning, reactive defense, and a powerful bond with their bear companion, creating a frontliner that feels as dependable as they are dangerous. Mechanically, it's a build that rewards smart teamwork and steady decision making. You're not just a wall, you're a shield that moves with the fight, protecting allies and turning defense into offense. At the table, it's smooth to run, deeply thematic, and packed with moments where you get to feel like the backbone of the group. If you enjoyed this look at the Ulfen Guard from Shining Kingdoms, check out our last extended Codex entry for another archetype focused build. If you got a favorite archetype you want to see featured, let me know in the comments, and I might just forge it into the next legend. Until next time, control the dice, alt the meta, build the legend. I've been Nicholas, your virtual GM. Thanks for watching.